It's interesting. Of course, we have just had the Immaculate Conception on Monday and on the 9th, but even if it was the 8th and 12th are two Marian feast days, both connected to the United States. So in this Advent, we jump out of Advent and we focus on these two. And so I've already talked about Immaculate Conception and, of course, the Blessed Mother. But I just wanted to give you one thought that came to me in this story, especially for Mary, is that today we celebrate how the Hispanics have come to know the Blessed Mother. And then coming back from Poland, it struck me that, of course, we were there for Our Lady of Czestochowa, and what happened is that we went at night to sing, and they closed it, so we sort of put her to bed and woke her up. They wake her up in the morning, put her to bed at night by going to church and singing, which the little church was filled with people. All right, that was in Poland. Well, Father Michael left this morning at 4 a.m. because the bishop wanted to do that same kind of thing with Our Lady of Guadalupe. So they wake her up in the morning and they sing. And I guess one of the things that is first is how kind of universal the devotion to the Blessed Mother is in so many different cultures in different ways, and yet we still as human beings do it. A lot of us, we honor the same way, and whether it's the Immaculate Conception, or in France, or we're in Poland, or we're in Mexico, this idea, or for her role in just Catholicism all over the world, and even in the Orthodox Church. So the role of the woman in our salvation. And I think that kind of what we celebrated maybe this week with two feast days, both to Our Lady, for all of you who are women in this room, right? That there should be hopefully some connection to you, a very special connection to the Blessed Mother. Whether one's a mother or not, as much as one is a woman doing God's will, being part of the work of salvation. And I think that to me was a special connection today. That's what came to my mind. And it wasn't doing extravagant, amazing things, becoming hugely big. It was just creating a home. Creating a home for Jesus is what made her kind of that. But doing God's will, not in ending world hunger, or something, but it was creating a home, doing the things human beings do, and in a very holy way. So just having a house and making the food, and if you've watched the Passion, right, they have this idea of Mary when Jesus is tripping, when he falls on the third time or second time, right? They have Mary going back and sort of remembering when Jesus fell as a little child, and then went over and picked him up like every child falls. So what I love about our faith is really the very basic ways in which we make holy things, right? It's really about going to work. We have pictures of Jesus working with Joseph, right? I mean, we have very common things. And if we could get that down, that being the holiness, you just coming to daily mass, cleaning a house, preparing a meal, instructing children, that is the basic thing that we consider holy, and too many of us look for the extraordinary things. And so on that, and that goes across cultures, across all the cultures, it's that way. And I think that shows it's really staying power to just be a human being, right, in this world, living, breathing, relating, right, and instructing and educating. If we could just see how holy and sacred God had made all of that, and then just doing God's will that way. How different, I think, our approach even to faith would be. And all the people who don't believe, who sort of what we're trying to get them to believe, is look, it's your daily life of work and being in relationship with your family and your parents, and that is where holiness is found. So on our feast day of Guadalupe, one of the things we recognize is that it was just the simple common man, right, who Juan Diego, simple common life of doing his thing that holiness enters into. So if we can stay in that world rather than the extravagant and the supernatural and the bigger than life things that we sort of most of us as human beings end up sort of chasing after and glorifying.